Stay alert. There's a deeper meaning behind your growing detachment from the world, and when tomorrow arrives, you'll grasp the purpose behind it all. Your withdrawal isn't random. Your essence is too refined for the chaos outside. This isn't about being antisocial or battling anxiety. You remain indoors because you were never destined to merge with a world that deadens itself to endure. You're being shielded from the interference, kept distant from the depleting vibrations of spaces, not crafted for souls like yours. While others chase distractions, endlessly scrolling, wasting hours in chaos, you're being guided inward. Not because you've lost your way, but because something is working to keep you centered. And as tomorrow unfolds, while the world moves mechanically, there will be a stillness that most won't notice, too consumed by their own noise to sense it. But in your solitude, in your stillness, you'll feel it pulsing beneath the surface of reality. It's not isolation, it's divine placement. And what transpires during this silence isn't meant for the masses to witness. The external world is merely a performance, and you ceased being its audience long ago. Everything out there feels artificial for a reason. The gatherings, the celebrations, the hollow laughter. It's not your imagination playing tricks. It's your perception becoming clearer. Shopping centers feel like staged sets. Nightclubs feel like hollow chambers. Even daily conversations seem rehearsed. Your discomfort in the outside world isn't a flaw in your character. You feel it because you've seen through the illusion. Tomorrow isn't just another sunrise. It's a subtle transformation, a hidden milestone. And while others sleepwalk through their routines, you've already awakened from the collective dream. Those who need constant noise can't bear silence without trembling. But you found comfort in stillness because your spirit resonates with truths others avoid. And that truth is about to reveal something they can no longer dismiss, but only if you remain vigilant. You're not unseen. You're purposefully concealed. There's significance in your aversion to attention, not from fear of visibility, but because the world isn't prepared for the magnitude of your energy. The most powerful spiritual forces move silently. They don't broadcast their journey, seek validation, or try to prove their worth. They're strategically removed. Because when your frequency disrupts illusions, your silence becomes your most potent tool. The chosen ones aren't reclusive. They're energetic revolutionaries. When they enter a space, they transform the entire atmosphere without uttering a word. That's something the system can't manage at scale. So you're placed in spiritual suspension, not to delay you, but to protect your purpose. The beginning of August arrives quietly, not with chaos, not with trends. That's precisely why this moment holds such significance. These days carry energetic thresholds that only those attuned to silence can perceive. While others rush blindly through time, you're being calibrated with forces beyond their comprehension. This isn't about lagging behind or missing opportunities. You're exactly where you need to be. You exist in a different dimension of preparation. Your timeline moves slower, yes, but with razor-sharp precision. It doesn't burst into flames. It constructs methodically. And when your presence finally echoes through the world, it won't be a mere whisper. It will fundamentally alter reality. You weren't escaping the world. You were being gifted a sacred sanctuary. If guilt has ever crept in when you chose to stay home, when you canceled commitments, or when you required more solitude than others, understand that you've been deceived. Society has a habit of mislabeling stillness as weakness. They preach that productivity only emerges through constant motion. They insist that staying in means isolation, while real life unfolds outside. But here's the truth. Your space isn't a hiding place. It's where you're being strengthened. Those insights that surface in solitude, that clarity emerging from silence, these aren't random occurrences. They're sacred moments, quietly guiding you towards something that transcends language. During these particular days, this truth becomes crystal clear. The energy isn't centered on external events. It's about the transformation occurring within your inner landscape. Your home transcends its physical structure. It's a precisely calibrated environment that contains your energy, filters your reality, and amplifies your intuition. Not everyone is meant to find peace in chaos. Some souls are designed to discover truth in stillness. So if these days find you indoors, feeling removed from worldly chaos, you're not avoiding, you're aligning. Your sanctuary is preparing you for something the world won't comprehend until it becomes impossible to ignore. You're not stagnant. You're under divine reconstruction. There's a pervasive myth suggesting that without constant movement, without visible progress, you must be falling behind. But that narrative wasn't written for souls like yours. The architects of tomorrow's most crucial foundations work behind closed doors, not on public platforms or in crowded boardrooms. They work in silence, in stillness, in sacred solitude. And their creation isn't material. It's internal, fundamental. Chosen ones often step back from the world, not in surrender, but because they're receiving downloads the world isn't ready to witness. New insights, radical perspective shifts, complete frameworks for future realities that haven't even been conceived yet. It doesn't resemble conventional success. It doesn't look like progress because it's not meant to be visible at this stage. The dawn of August arrives without fanfare or visible milestones to showcase. Instead, it manifests as a pivotal moment of internal pressure, a phase where the unseen amplifies within your consciousness. You might experience unexplained fatigue, an inexplicable restlessness despite physical stillness. Something may feel misaligned, though you can't precisely identify what. This isn't resistance. It's the resonance of your internal architecture reorganizing itself. You aren't trapped. You're establishing stability for something far more significant than those around you can comprehend. And therein lies the paradox. This profound inner work proceeds without recognition, because society only celebrates what's visible to the eye. Yet the most transformative changes remain silent until their completion. And when yours finally emerges, it won't be subtle. It will be earth-shattering. While others thrive in disorder, you're engineered for exactitude. If you've questioned why you feel overwhelmed in scenarios where others seem effortlessly adapted, it's not due to weakness. Your wiring is fundamentally different. Chosen individuals possess extraordinary nervous systems. They're equipped with heightened awareness that contemporary society hasn't yet evolved to understand. Not the kind of sensitivity that crumbles under stress, but one that perceives what remains invisible to others. The kind that registers subtle variations in energy, intention, and vibration. You don't merely detect discord, you experience its full disturbance. While most can function within this distortion, socializing under harsh lighting, engaging in superficial conversation amidst dense crowds, desensitizing themselves in overstimulating environments, you lack this capacity because your system rejects inauthenticity. Your physical being refuses mere survival. This isn't a deficiency. This is your precise calibration. Your nervous system isn't delicate. It's sophisticated. Early August will intensify this distinction. The collective energy will manifest as a persistent undertone. If you've noticed increased sensitivity lately, trust your perception. These days are triggering an internal recalibration. Even routine experiences like navigating a grocery store with its artificial illumination or dense crowds might feel overwhelming. You might experience dizziness, disorientation, or sense an unusual heaviness in the atmosphere. Some report experiencing unexpected internal jolts or sudden waves of vertigo, as if their physical form is adjusting to an imperceptible shift. This isn't dysfunction. It's reception of signals others have long since disregarded. While most are conditioned to ignore such discomfort, chosen ones are being guided to acknowledge it. Because your physical form, your system, your energetic field serves a precise purpose. It's engineered to detect what others can't process, and it's guiding you toward a destination beyond the chaos. Every venture beyond your sanctuary places you in an energetic battlefield. Most will fail to grasp your reality. From their perspective, you appear withdrawn, unsociable, perhaps grappling with social anxiety. Yet they remain oblivious to the energetic onslaught you navigate each time you venture into public spaces. Because stepping beyond your sanctuary isn't merely movement, It's entering an energetic battlefield, not figuratively, but in the most literal sense. And those who are chosen recognize it immediately. The abrupt weight pressing against your chest, the peculiar pressure encroaching your mind. You enter a space, and the vibrational frequency plummets. Your emotional state transforms. Mental clarity dissipates. Vitality depletes. Others dismiss it as social exhaustion or introverted tendencies. But your understanding runs deeper. It's not fatigue you're experiencing. You're under energetic assault. This is spiritual warfare, psychic interference. It occurs when your energetic field maintains too pure a frequency, too refined a calibration, and you encounter spaces saturated with unprocessed energy, unconscious projections, and discordant vibrations. You become a receptor for foreign static. You perceive undercurrents that escape others' awareness. It explains why a simple grocery run leaves you feeling energetically depleted, why social gatherings drain you completely, regardless of their duration, why commuting through bustling city streets feels like traversing an inexplicable energetic haze. And during this particular weekend, that haze intensifies. This transcends mere emotional fluctuation. It's atmospheric. The spiritual veil attenuates. Currently, the energetic frequencies pierce more sharply, more invasively. And for an individual like yourself, possessing a refined field, with a system attuned to subtle frequencies, ignorance isn't an option. Your need for solitude isn't madness. Your requirement for recovery after brief social encounters isn't dysfunction. Your sensitivity isn't weakness. You're simply attuned to frequencies others have conditioned themselves to ignore. When your field maintains clarity, distortion becomes intolerable. While the masses proceed unconsciously, you've initiated a strategic retreat, not from fear, but from wisdom, because you comprehend that exposure extracts an energetic toll. And the true conflict isn't in the visible realm. It resides in the ethereal, in atmosphere, in words, in silence. Thus, your ventures outward aren't casual occurrences. They're spiritual decisions, and recently, these decisions carry unprecedented weight. Constant availability would diminish your power. There's profound reason why life's most precious elements aren't readily accessible. They're protected, preserved, reserved for the truly prepared. Your energy follows similar principles. You weren't designed for perpetual exposure, obligatory small talk, or constant accessibility. Because your presence alters reality, and authentic power manifests quietly. It's uncommon. The perpetually accessible loses its worth. Your energetic field carries wisdom, carries quietude, carries a potency that demands selective sharing. This explains your innate pull toward seclusion, not from social aversion, but because your essence recognizes its inherent worth. Each attempt to conform, to increase visibility, to expand social presence, to step into the spotlight triggers an internal response. That resistance, that subtle self-betrayal echoes within, because inherently, you understand your purpose isn't conformity. Your appearance should be intentional, like a celestial event that manifests when cosmic forces align, not when social obligations dictate. This particular weekend embodies such an alignment. The focus isn't isolation, but refinement. A sacred magnetism draws you towards stillness, not from avoidance, but because your internal system requires recalibration. Any forced visibility during this period creates energetic discord. When you withdraw from commitments, decline invitations, or feel overwhelmed by external energies, recognize this isn't personal inadequacy. It's your energetic field preserving its integrity. Impact emerges from scarcity, and your essence was never intended for constant consumption like ambient sound. While others deplete themselves through omnipresence, you're choosing authentic presence over performative visibility. You're preserving your energetic signature for meaningful engagement. When circumstances demand your full energetic potential, you'll possess it, having protected it from needless dispersion. You understand that rarity isn't synonymous with concealment, but concealment often serves a higher purpose. If external reality feels overwhelming currently, trust your perception. Recently, the collective atmosphere has shifted noticeably. Public spaces carry an invisible tension, manifesting as physical pressure within your being. Human interaction has become more volatile, more unpredictable, with conversations lacking depth, and endless exchange of words devoid of substance. The discord isn't merely physical, it's energetic and emotional, creating an overwhelming sensation that defies conventional explanation. This heightened sensitivity isn't merely personal evolution. It reflects global energetic instability as collective consciousness undergoes transformation. Those lacking groundedness, self-awareness, and alignment experience increasing turbulence. This instability permeates everything: media narratives, public spaces, emotional atmospheres, even the energetic density of crowded environments. While the majority remains oblivious, absorbed in distraction, those attuned like yourself perceive every subtle frequency fluctuation. The boundary between dimensions grows increasingly permeable, and those who resist acknowledging reality immerse themselves in clamor to escape it. This isn't merely about increased environmental noise or fuller calendars. What's escalating is the desperate need for diversion. The resistance to quietude grows stronger, and individuals are employing every possible means to avoid the discomfort that emerges when external distractions subside. You might experience a sense of displacement even in once comfortable settings. Places that were previously manageable now feel intolerable. The atmospheric energy appears dense, erratic, sometimes hostile. This transformation occurs because your internal evolution outpaces your external environment. Your heightened attunement and refinement aren't signs of weakness, but indicators of expanded consciousness. While others seek to suppress these sensations, you're being guided to embrace them fully. This guidance, though challenging, serves as your protective mechanism. It's your internal compass signaling misalignments. If you've recently found yourself postponing tasks, withdrawing from social engagements, or retreating from external activities, not from anxiety, but from a profound inner knowing that something feels discordant, honor that intuition. The pressure you perceive is real. The increasing noise reflects a collective system struggling to maintain cohesion as deeper truths emerge. While the masses flee from silence, you're being drawn into it. The next phase won't emerge from disorder, but through those who maintain stillness while others amplify the chaos. Most will remain distracted, but something extraordinary awaits those who preserve their inner quiet. A subtle energetic shift approaches without grandeur, no celestial spectacles, no dramatic planetary configurations, no obvious manifestations. This subtlety is precisely its strength. This represents one of those precious energetic windows that escapes the notice of the perpetually occupied, the restless, the endlessly scrolling, yet carries profound potential for internal transformation. Beginning tomorrow, while humanity pursues more achievements, recognition, and validation, a different possibility quietly unfolds, accessible only to those who step back from the cacophony. This isn't a period for demonstration or spiritual performance. It transcends rituals and spiritual aspirations. It centers on authentic stillness, the kind that allows your nervous system to relax, your breathing to deepen, and your inner voice to resurface. During these tranquil moments, something primordial and precious will manifest within you. It arrives not through effort but through presence. Don't expect a dramatic revelation. Initially, it might seem imperceptible. It could manifest as a subtle shift in perspective, sudden clarity where confusion prevailed, a dream bearing unexpected insight, or simply an inexplicable sense of serenity emerging amid your everyday existence. And here's what most will fail to grasp. In their constant state of distraction during this crucial window, they overlook the essence. They anticipate dramatic revelations, missing the profound power of silence. Yet it's within this very silence that transformation takes root. These rare moments of insight, clarity, or alignment don't announce themselves with fanfare. They require stillness. They demand you cease reacting, stop pursuing, and finally attune to what's gently emerging within. So when you feel that unmistakable urge tomorrow or the next day to withdraw, turn inward, or simply embrace silence. Honor it. This isn't lethargy speaking. It's your consciousness preparing to receive. You haven't missed the momentum. You were never meant to chase it. There exists a pervasive narrative, loud and meticulously crafted, suggesting that life's richness lies solely in external pursuits, constant motion, and public visibility. You've encountered this message countless times. The suggestion that stillness equals stagnation, that solitude means missing life's essence. But this narrative isn't yours. This was never your destined path. What many label as living often masks a form of avoidance. Avoiding stillness, avoiding discomfort, avoiding self-confrontation. They move restlessly between destinations, gatherings, and experiences, convinced that the next social engagement, the next crowd, the next social media update will finally bring fulfillment. Yet beneath this motion lies emptiness. They remain restless, perpetually seeking but never finding. Your choice to remain centered isn't born of fear. It stems from profound understanding. You're not retreating from life. You're creating space for something infinitely more valuable, spiritual awakening. This is what's unfolding in this present moment. These seemingly quiet days carry deep significance. They're encoded not with distraction, but with guidance, refinement, and profound realignment. While others seek external validation, you're dwelling in your truth. This is where genuine transformation occurs. You don't require more distraction. You need clearer signals. This phase, appearing as inactivity to many, represents the sacred pause before meaningful action. It's the gathering of energy before expression. While others exhaust themselves pursuing constant movement, you're gathering strength in silence. You're not disconnecting from the world. You're evolving beyond needing its validation to feel complete. When the moment arrives, as it inevitably will, you won't merely rejoin the world. You'll help reshape it. Let others continue their endless pursuit. Let them chase their external validations. Your path was never meant to follow their direction. You're developing your own inner compass, and what appears as stillness now may well be the genesis of everything meaningful. To those still present, I extend my gratitude for your attention. If this resonates with your journey, I invite you to subscribe for more profound insights. Your support means everything. Share your personal reflections in the comments section below. Until we meet again, stay true to your path and join our conscious community.